Get ready for a thrilling ride as we dive into the world of Avatar, Fire and Ash. This highly anticipated sequel is set to hit theaters, but here's the twist: it might not match the box office magic of its predecessor, Avatar, The Way of Water. According to industry experts, Avatar, Fire and Ash is expected to open with a slightly lower debut than The Way of Water. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a cause for concern, or just a natural progression for a beloved franchise? Avatar, Fire and Ash, the final blockbuster of 2025, has finally revealed its box office tracking. James Cameron's latest masterpiece is projected to open with a solid $100 to $130 million in North America, which is lower than The Way of Water's impressive $134.1 million haul in 2022. The trade predicts a $110 million opening, but the key difference lies in the excitement factor. Avatar, The Way of Water was the long-awaited sequel to the groundbreaking 2009 film, Avatar, which generated higher anticipation. However, it's important to note that the Avatar franchise's success isn't solely dependent on its domestic debut. International audiences have always been a massive driving force, as evidenced by the second film's incredible global earnings of $2.343 billion. As the trade publication highlights, for Avatar, Way of Water to open with $134 million, 13 years after the original $77 million debut, was fantastic. When discussing Avatar, Fire and Ash's opening, consider Way of Water's domestic start as the ceiling for comparison. And this is the part most people miss. Avatar, The Way of Water's domestic earnings were 5 times its opening weekend, grossing a whopping $688.4 million in the US and Canada. In comparison, the original Avatar made 10 times more than its debut, reaching $785.2 million by the end of its run. Avatar, Fire and Ash is undoubtedly a hit in the making, but whether it can reach the lofty heights of its predecessors remains to be seen. The international box office landscape has shifted, with China no longer contributing record-breaking amounts to Hollywood blockbusters. Additionally, the pandemic's impact lingers, as many moviegoers still prefer watching new releases at home. In a recent teaser, Cameron shared his vision for the film. You've got Jake and Neytiri, whose eldest son dies at the end of The Way of Water. In the typical superhero universe, grief isn't often addressed because it's an impediment to the cool stuff. But I wanted to be authentic, to show these characters emotionally. He continued, it's the ultimate love story, like Romeo and Juliet, Smith and Pocahontas on another planet. Their relationship is challenged. Will they survive? The new characters, Spider, Kiri, and Lo'ak, come into their own in movie 3. Jake and Quaritch just fighting for 6 hours would be boring. Cameron concluded, it becomes nuanced when they have a child between them, with both as father figures. Sometimes they must work together to keep him alive. It's more nuanced because of these younger characters. If you're a kid, you'll follow them. It's not a family movie about the parents, it's about the kids. Avatar, Fire and Ash promises an immersive return to Pandora, starring Sam Worthington as Marine-turned-Nausicaa leader Jake Sully, Zoe Saldaña as Nausicaa warrior Neytiri, and an ensemble cast including Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and Kate Winslet. Mark your calendars for December 19, 2025, when Avatar, Fire and Ash hits theaters. Will it live up to the hype? Only time will tell. What are your thoughts on this highly anticipated sequel? Share your predictions and opinions in the comments below.